G'day, I'm Dicko. Welcome to ATS. We're a general aviation maintenance organisation just outside of London in the UK. Come on in and have a look around. My position here at ATS is engineering manager. My job is to liaise with the customers, book the work in and out, make sure we've got a full calendar to keep the boys busy, and generally take care of this place and answer phone calls. Peanut, get me a can of soup. Tomato. Those of you who have known ATS for a while will recognise that there has been some serious transformations that have gone on here. Where I'm standing now was literally fresh air. Built in between the two hangars, we've got this amazing facility, beautiful kitchen, dining room, lounge, air hockey, simulator, but that's just a fraction of what we do here at ATS. We've got the storage hangar behind me, which we'll go and check out shortly. We've got the maintenance hangar. Let's go and have a look and we'll show you around. So here we are in the first of our two hangars. This is our storage hangar. We've got all sorts of cool toys, like the Cabri G2, the Pitts S2A, the Beach Bonanza, TBM 940, all sorts of funky stuff. Customers, they ask us to keep them here, keep them out of the weather, keep them safe, and generally look after them and supply them when they need them. Come on through, let's go and have a look. Here we have the EC130. This is an aircraft that's come to us from the south of France. It's here for a pre-buy inspection, so a customer will ask us to have a good look through it, have a look through the airframe, have a look through the documents, and make sure it's going to be a good buy. Here we have another Pitts S2A. You can see this one's branded in the Breitling Angels. It's been used a number of times for the aerobatic team, and he's a very valued customer. I encourage the guys to keep their toys and bits and pieces, personal belongings here at work. Makes for a more personal work environment. As you can see, got the wife's MG midget here, winter storage, battery on charge, ready for the summer. Here we have the TBM 940, a bit of a pocket rocket. It's a relatively new airplane. I think it's less than a year old, quite aerosexual, nice bit of kit. ATS has built its reputation on looking after high-performance aerobatic aircraft and supporting Nigel Lamb and the Breitling team. There's always room for a Pitts. Come here. This is Eddie. He's an 18-week-old Cocker Spaniel pup. He's a key member of the ATS staff. We also have Chief Engineer has a Golden Retriever, Woody, and we'll introduce you to him a bit later on. Oh, outtakes. So for those of you who are wondering what we're doing with this series of videos, well, we're going to give you some insight into what we do as aircraft engineers, whether it be simple inspections, in-depth inspections, moving aircraft, painting aircraft. We're going to do a pre-purchase inspection, a 50-hour inspection, and we're going to explain all about what we do and what those things are. If you've got any questions or anything you want to know, don't forget to leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss anything, and we'll try and fill and answer as many questions as we can. Stay tuned. So there's a famous saying in aviation that when the paperwork weighs as much as the airplane will be allowed to fly. It's not quite the case. However, there is a lot of paperwork involved. Do you like the joke? Yeah. Behind me, you can see all our files. Each file contains all the jobs that have been done on a particular airplane. Those files then stay with the aircraft for the life of the machine. Right, so here we are in our bonded parts store. Bonded parts store means that every single part that enters this store comes with certification and documentation. That paperwork is cross-referenced to the parts on our shelves and then backed up on our computer system. The reason this is done, it's a safety thing. If there is a problem with the manufacturer, every single part that leaves this store is traceable. So now we come to a part of the episode that we are going to call Aerosexualness of the Week. This is a section where we're going to talk about an aircraft that hopefully gets your juices flowing and maybe even tickle your fancy. Today, we're going to look at the Cabri G2 helicopter. This aircraft was designed by Bruno Guimbal in the south of France, where they have produced more than 250 airframes. This aircraft first flew on the 31st of March 2005. It is made of carbon fibre with a steel tube engine support. Some unusual features that this aircraft can come with: a factory fitted air conditioning, cargo hook, pop-out floats, and even bear paws for the snow. This aircraft is fitted with a 145 horsepower Lycoming engine, 0360, which will have you climbing like a homesick angel. It will cruise at 100 mile an hour for 4.5 hours. It has a max takeoff weight of 700 kgs and will cost you a measly 150 to 350,000 pounds depending on what configuration you order. If you fancy getting your hands on one of these sexy beasts, hit the link for gimbal.com or drop me a line at ATS Aero and ask for Ed. In my opinion, this is one of the greatest two-person helicopters ever made. With its modern construction methods, sexy looks, fantastic endurance, and ease of maintenance, it puts it at #1 for me. Now back to me in the hangar. Here we are in our maintenance hangar. This is where the magic happens. This is where we maintain all our aeroplanes. Everything from the classic and vintage to the twin turboprop behind me. Everything from 50-hour checks, 25-hour oil changes, annual inspections, defect rectification, modifications, you name it. Complete rebuilds, engine changes, propeller changes. If you want to know more, comment below. So the most important job we've got on this week is a 100-hour inspection on this Italian-made Tecnam P2006T. This airplane is commercially operated, which means it does about 200 flying hours a year. So we get to see it sort of 3 or 4 times. Let's go and have a look and see what the boys are up to. So, as you can see, the airplane is on jacks. That means we've got the airplane in the air, inspecting the undercarriage and getting ready to do some undercarriage retractions. Make sure it all works properly. The last thing you want is the undercarriage not to come down. Part of our 100-hour inspection is looking and lubing. Looking over the airframe for damage and lubing all the controls, making sure everything is free to move. We've got no binding, full and free movement, and everything's lubricated. All these ball joints, controls, everything like that. Nothing's going to seize up in the next 50 hours. One thing we do a little bit different here at ATS Aero is we allow amateur-built aircraft into our hangar. When I say amateur-built, sounds a little bit scary, but actually some of these aircraft are beautifully manufactured. 3 of the engineers we have here, including myself, are light aircraft inspectors, light aviation inspectors. That means 3 of us here are able to certify final build stages on home-built aircraft. This gives us a good opportunity to oversee their work, make sure things are safe, pass on some of our knowledge and experiences that we've learned over time, and hopefully they end up with a better product. Although this might look like a regular workshop, it's got a few subtle differences. We're in aviation, there's regulations. Even our tools have got to be calibrated, regulated, catalogued, you name it, we've got to do it. Stick around for a later episode when we explain more about tool porn. If you've enjoyed watching as much as I've enjoyed hosting our first video here at ATS Aero, don't forget to leave a comment, hit the like button. Also, if you think of a topic that you want us to make a video on, please leave a message below. Till the next time, don't forget, ATS Aero, there's always room for a pits. Come on, Matt, it's your time. No, we're not on, we're not on.
When you get a chance to use it.
On AWOL again. You may see that we've got a few pizzas in the hangar. Pizzas, plural. Fucking pizzas. Lubing all the vital points. It's always time for lube.